Here we are, back again.
Oh my gosh, it's the Wonder Twins. You're welcome.
United.
Right. Okay, so we're doing a new segment, and it's going to be yes, no, and maybe. Basically, we're going to rate a bunch of books. We have a pile, oh, there you go, of yes and no's and maybes. We're starting by year, so we're going to start in 2005 because I don't know why, that's just where we started.
Arbitrary.
Yes, you're welcome.
So, here is the first book that came out in 2005, and she hasn't actually read this one. I'm the one that's read this one, so this is why it's the maybe, because
I refuse to read middle grade.
she refuses to read middle grade, and here's why. It's because...
I don't like romance. I mean, I do love romance. I don't like the lack of romance in middle grade novels. I have to have romance, or I don't want to read it. I'm not interested.
Okay.
And you think...
Well, okay, so you've read Harry Potter.
Yes.
You've read The Chronicles of Narnia.
Yes.
Okay, but you read those when you're a kid.
Yeah.
So is that why it's different?
Yeah. Like, I fell in love with them then, and I have this long-lasting love for them, but now I don't want to read anything new.
Okay, so what Disney movies did you fall in love with?
Aladdin.
Okay.
Beauty
what
and
else?
the Beast.
What else?
Little Mermaid.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I watched.
Now, have you seen Disney movies since then?
Yes.
And have you enjoyed them?
Yes.
Okay, which ones?
Moana.
Okay.
Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Shrek.
So you just have to gauge, like, rearrange your expectations, because there's something really pure about that, like, childlike thought process where it's good and it's evil, and, you know, you see it's very clear cut. And
Black and white.
that's why, like, children's movies do so well, because it's like...
They teach your kids morals, I guess.
But for me, like, the Percy Jackson books, I cannot get enough of them.
And I think it's good, too, that it's a really long series, so you can get really invested, and that's good, because I do love getting invested in characters, and I love knowing that there's going to be, they're all out, and I can just zoom through them and love them all.
Yes. So
I'm willing to try it.
Oh! That's the first time I've ever gotten her to say this, and I've been bugging her about these for probably 6 years. So, anyways, definitely a good one. The next book that came out,
Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
oh my gosh, right? I cannot get enough. Oh, anytime we ever rate any Harry Potter book on here, it's going to be like a 12 out of, 1. On a scale of 1 to 1, it's a 20.
Any Harry Potter book is a yes. It's 1,000 times yes. And I
Plus
can't believe this
5.
came out in 2005 because
Right?
Makes me feel so old.
I remember when it came out, I was so obsessed and excited and I couldn't wait, and it was everything I ever hoped it would be. I listened to the audiobook every night and start at the same spot with an excess of phlegm.
Which is totally understandable because,
It's the
oh my
best.
gosh, and Harry thinks you're talking about Mrs. Weasley,
Yes.
and they're like, oh my gosh, blah, 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 she's the worst. And Harry's like,
and Ron's just like, oh.
yeah, and then he realizes that it's Fleur
Fleur de
de
la
la...
Cour.
Yes, exactly. Next book, Eldest.
Christopher Paolini.
He is a little
Second
child
book in the
star.
series.
He wrote the first book when he was 15, when he graduated from high school. And his world building
I could have
is
done that.
absolutely epic. Like,
Yeah.
he does a great job building this world. He incorporates elves, dwarves, you know.
Everything, yeah.
He does the whole epic fantasy thing. The only thing that it doesn't really have is romance.
But you don't even need it, I feel like, in that.
No.
Because there's so much... I can't believe I'm saying this.
Yes.
There's
I
so
can't
much
either.
other stuff that you're just drawn in, and it's so intense. And it's like Lord of the Rings meets Game of Thrones meets,
Yes.
Yes. Whatever. It's
This is the
amazing.
same reason you need to read the Percy Jackson, though.
I already said yes.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, this one we have already asked and answered. We've talked about this in a previous
See our
video.
previous video.
I don't know what else to say about that one.
It's great, draws you in, it's wonderful, but the consecutive books are better.
They do get better, and the writing is very simple sentences. Honestly, congratulations to Stephanie Meyer, because she wrote the book for, like, the non-reader.
Yeah.
Anybody that, even if you're not a reader, anybody could have picked that book up
Yes.
and made it all the way through all 4
Yes.
books, because it was so compelling. It kept you captured. It kept moving.
I feel like when Harry Potter came out, I feel like that was a huge shift in the publishing industry for kids reading, because everybody loved it. It was a huge hit. It became massively popular, and it got kids reading. But then there was kind of a gap, where there wasn't anything huge for a while. And then Twilight came out, and it started again with like a little bit of older kids, and then Hunger Games. And it was just like, the
and
cycles that keep kids reading.
This isn't for you, but yeah, Percy Jackson came out that year too,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
been a
Yeah.
giant child smash, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
So 2005 was a good year for books.
Definitely.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that pretty much all of those were yeses. We didn't really have any no's for 2005.
Unfortunately. There were obviously a lot of other books.
There were obviously a lot of other books.
Some of them we didn't read because we weren't interested in them. And
you win some, you lose some, you read books.